Hello everyone, this is Can speaking from Istanbul, Turkey, from Karargah, Warhammer Club. Today I'm gonna try to explain you a fantastic Warhammer fantasy battle based on 80,000 points. Two great armies are fighting on this battlefield, as you can see. One of them is Chaos Army and the other one is Order Army. Each army have 80,000 points army lists. Wood Elves, High Elves, Dwarves, Bretons and the Empire armies are building Order Army. And on the other side, Demons, Vampire, Orc and Goblins, Beastmen, Dark Elves and Ogres, Ogre Kingdom, are building the Chaos Army. I'm controlling 4,500 points Dwarf Army. I would like to give you some details about the rules and the map, by the way. I remember we used 8 tables for this game. In the middle of the battlefield, as you can see, there is a watchtower. And on the both flanks of the map, there are 2 different and important buildings. One of them is a demon gate above and a mine on the right flank of the battlefield. It can be seen here below of the picture. As you know, it is not easy to finish such a game. But the creator and as well as the referee of this game, Özcan, created some special rules in order to finalize this battle in one day. Actually, these rules were very similar to Warhammer 40k rules. Each 1 point lost by the army was giving to the enemy 1 victory point, and losing BSB, Battle Standard Bearer, and General gives 1.2, I remember. In addition to that, the army controls the mine or the demon gate at the end of the game, wins 3 victory points, and if any army controls the watchtower in the middle of the battlefield, he wins 5 victory points. Or referee banned the usage of any magical item or any magical banner, and as well as the runes. Of course, he allowed us to use only special characters in this game. For example, the general of the Empire Army was Karl Franz. I think that was the important point of such a game. It is a big and huge game. Without using any magical item, we don't lost in the rules and the details, and we didn't spend a lot of time to argue about the details and magical items. Every unit and model was naked. But of course you could use any great weapon and shield for your lord or hero. For example, I created a dwarf character who comes to the battlefield on shield bearers and carrying a great weapon and a shield, I think. Using great weapon or any armor wasn't forbidden. And now deployment phase. This is the general of the Empire Army and this is the general of the Chaos Army, and these are the lords of both armies. Each general built the main strategy of his army and gave orders to the lords. And I was the lord of dwarves in the Order Army. Our general was controlling the center line with his Empire Army, and the Chaos general was controlling the center line with his Orc and Goblin Army. Our general, Empire General, as well as Empire General, deployed his units on the left side of the battlefield. You can see in this photo. And the center of both armies was very important, I think, in order to win this game, because there was a lot of troops deployed in the center, which means there was a lot of victory points there. Empire troops were deployed in the center of the Order army. On the left flank of the Order army, there was two huge armies, additional armies, which are High Elves and Wood Elves. And on the right flank of the Order army, Dwarves and Breton Knights deployed. On the right side of the Order army, I was controlling 4,500 points Dwarf army, by the way. The Chaos army was deployed on the right side of the battlefield, you can see from this photo. And Orc Goblins were in the center of the Chaos army, and Beastman was very close to them. We can say that Beastman was deployed in the center too. And Ogre Kingdoms and Dark Elves were on the left flank of the Chaos army. My Dwarf army fought against Ogre and Dark Elves during the game. Vampire Counts and Demon armies was protecting right flank of the Chaos army above. Before the game, before the start of the game, the referee allowed us to shoot. That was an additional shooting phase for the Order army. The Order army couldn't cause a serious damage on Chaos army because they are huge and crowded. They have a lot of troops, as you can see. And after this additional shooting phase, the game has started. It is not easy to explain every detail of such a game, such a huge game. However, I try to summarize you this battle. In the first turn and in following turns, High Elves and Demon troops fought on the left flank of Order army. And High Elves played very well and did their job properly and kept the demons away from the center line of Order army. And each side lost important units and lords and heroes, but I think High Elves took more units and points from demons. And Wood Elves deployed between the left flank and center of the battlefield. They were very close to the center line and faced against the Vampire unit. It was not easy to fight against Vampire army for Wood Elves because they have not horde units like Vampire army. In addition to that, the Wood Elf army couldn't have the hit and run ability. The line was very tight and there wasn't any place to run from enemy and damages the enemy with shooting. And therefore they fought with their 3-man and 3-kin troops and tried to keep the Vampire busy. In fact, they reached to the aim and Vampire units cannot reach to the center line of Order army. But in the center line, our Empire units faced against two different armies. One of them is Beastman and the other one is Orc Goblin. It was not a fair fight, I think. The Empire alone couldn't hold this line against this foe. At this, we can bring Breton or Dwarf units close to the center line, but we couldn't do this. Breton and Dwarf stayed on the right flank and fought against Ogre Kingdoms and Dark Elves. But at least we kept away huge and devastating Ogre units from the center line, and if Ogre units move to the center line, we could lose Wood Elf and Empire troops. And therefore we can say that the Bretons and Dwarves worked very well. In the second turn, the Empire army lost his general Karl Franz. And the main problem I think the main problem in deployment was dwarfs and Bretons. Bretons are very fast. They have very fast knights, and at least we can help Empire more, but we couldn't do this. Uh, and in addition to that, Breton knights couldn't run through the lines of Chaos Army. They couldn't go to the deep of Chaos line, and I understand that the protecting the lines was very important. For instance, if Wood Elves couldn't keep away vampire troops can destroy Empire units in early turns. And I understand in such a game it is important to hold and protect every line during the whole game, during every line and during the game. If you cannot do this, you can lose one whole army, which means losing 5,000 or 10,000 points. It is important to hold each line and minimize the losses until the end of the game. At the end of the game, Order side captured mine and as well as the Demon Gate, and therefore we gained 6 additional victory points from both gates, from both buildings. In the center of the battlefield, we lost a lot of Empire units, and therefore we gave a lot of victory points to our enemy, to our foe. And the Chaos units, Orc Goblin units, and Beastman units captured the Watchtower, and they gained 6 additional victory points from this building. However, on the right flank we didn't lose a lot of troops. Dwarf army lost only 1,000 points, and Breton army lost I'm not sure, but 2,000 points. We didn't give too much point to our foe, and on the left flank the battle was a tie, I think. Maybe High Elves damage more than the demon. And in the center zone, Wood Elves kept vampire troops busy, and at the end of this battle, we took 47 points from Chaos Army, and they took 46 points from us. And the winner was Order. Therefore, the winner was Order. It was a great match. It was a great game. It was a great battle. I really enjoyed to be part of this battle. I hope you will enjoy this video. I wish to explain you every detail, every turn, but it is not possible to explain every detail of this battle. Therefore, I'm sorry for that, but I hope you understand how the battle occurred. I hope you will enjoy this video, and see you in the next battle report.
Evet, başlayabilirsin.
Orta tarafın taktiğine ilk tur merkezden
Şunu alır mısın
karşı
diye.
tarafın en zayıfı olan ork birliğine yüklenerek yaracak ve yardıktan sonra birliklerin bir kısmını sağa, bir kısmını sola kaydırarak düşmanları yanmanla kuşatıp yok edeceğiz. Taktik bu. Taktiğin de en zayıf noktası karşımda
Çekiyor mu? Küfretmek istemiyorum.
Küfür yok arkadaşlar.
Küfür yok, direkt dayak var. Ya biz dayak atacağız. Çok fazla taktiğe gerek yok zaten.
Right after the second turn, we will declare charge on the center of the enemy.
Şu lakaytlığa bakar mısın ya? Ordu yenilenmiş, adamdaki rahatlığa bak ya. Yemin ediyorum Kayserili iş adamı. Muhasebe gelmiş buraya. Bayi toplantısı varmış dediler geldi.
Bana Ümit Sarkozy gelmiş böyle. Bir takılırız.